Since marrying Alec Baldwin in 2012, Hilaria Baldwin has been in the hot seat. And not just for faking an accent. We definitely gotta talk about it though. The entire time she's been in the public eye, Hilaria's Spanish accent has come and gone. Shortly after she married Alec in 2012, she spoke with a lilt while on Good Morning America.
Married life is really nice. You know, it feels different.
But all traces of that accent were gone when she had another interview with Extra.
It was the best party ever. Ever.
And years later, that accent has continued to shine through in interviews, on her social media, and on her reality show, The Baldwins. Lots of people online have noticed these inconsistencies in her speech, and Hilaria addressed them in the first episode of The Baldwins. She explained that she was raised bilingual, and that she loves speaking both Spanish and English, adding that many of her friends and family come from diverse backgrounds.
We are a mix of all these different things, and that's going to have an impact on how we sound.
She's apparently so bilingual that she even forgets English words from time to time.
We have very few ingredients. We have tomatoes, we have, how do you say it in English? Cucumbers.
What's weird about all this is that there's a lot of evidence suggesting she's not even Spanish. In 2020, a genealogist tweeted, "Did a quick and dirty tree for Hilaria Baldwin's maternal ancestry. Found English, Irish, French, Canadian, German, and Slovak. Some deep New England roots. No Spain in sight." This naturally raised some questions, as well as some outright vitriol from comedian Amy Schumer.
Hilaria from España is actually Hillary from Boston.
It doesn't exactly help her case that Hilaria wasn't her birth name. According to a New York County Civil Court document a Reddit user uncovered, she actually changed her name from Hillary Lynn Hayward Thomas back in 2010. In fairness, she hasn't denied the name change. She told the New York Times in 2020 that she went by Hillary until about 2009. She explained that loved ones had pretty much always called her Hilaria, and insisted that she didn't feel she was hiding anything by changing her name. She once again defended this choice in a 2020 Instagram video, saying, "I think we can all be really clear that it's the same name, just a few letters difference. I think we shouldn't be so upset about it. Whatever you guys want to call me, I will respond to both." And that wasn't even close to the most out-of-pocket behavior she or her husband exhibited on social media. In early 2023, Alec took to Instagram and asked their fans for a strange favor.
As a birthday gift, or even just gesture to my wife, would you follow her on Instagram?
The reason for the request was that Hilaria's birthday was coming up, and she had just under 1 million followers on Instagram at the time. And while we'll never know if Hilaria put him up to this or if Alec was just scrambling for a last-minute gift, like any other guy who'd been married long enough to run out of ideas, it seemed like a pretty desperate ploy. And it didn't even work. He hoped to push her into the millions, but over 2 years later, her follower count still sits in the high 900,000s. A few months later, the folks that do follow her saw a pretty weird photo of the couple. The same day Alec's manslaughter charges for the fatal shooting on the Rust set were dropped, Hilaria posted a photo curled up in her husband's lap like a child. While her pose was probably meant to show her relief about the charges, Jezebel noted, "The curled-up pose begs to suggest that she is baby, despite Alec being the one who was facing charges, and their babies being the actual babies. Personally, this is not a pose I would choose if my husband was almost twice my age." Oddly enough, Hilaria was also involved in a pretty serious accident at her workplace. While teaching a class in New York's Yoga Vida in 2013, a student named Spencer Wolf lost his balance, fell into a window, and cut his leg open. He ultimately sued her on the grounds that his injury was caused by an overly crowded studio. And while it could have ended there, a friend of Wolf's told Page Six that Hilaria later ran into Wolf and berated him for the trauma the lawsuit caused her. Considering he was the one who got injured, this seems like a pretty bizarre overreaction. Another head-scratcher about Hilaria is the whole cat thing. Alec revealed on The Baldwins that he was severely allergic to cats. He found that out in the early 80s while staying with a friend. When he was exposed to a lot of cat hair, he suffered such a serious asthma attack that he had to be hospitalized. Naturally, he told Hilaria early into their relationship that owning cats was a deal breaker for him. And then she bought 4.
Every corner I turn as the cats are like, "Greetings." And I'm like,
And while he told the story for laughs, it seems like quite a red flag that she would disregard his health so blatantly.